South Africa states that its applications concerns acts threatened, adopted, condoned, taken, and being taken by the government and military of Israel against the Palestinian people, a distinct national, racial, and ethnic group, in the wake of the attacks in Israel on 7 October 2023. South Africa contends that the acts and omissions by Israel of which it complains are genocidal in character because, I quote, they are intended to bring about the destruction of a substantial part of the Palestinian national, racial, and ethnic group, that being the part of the Palestinian group in the Gaza Strip. And I now invite Ms. Adila Hassim to address the court.
South Africa contends that Israel has transgressed Article 2 of the Convention by committing actions that fall within the definition of genocide. At this provisional measures stage, it is not necessary for the court to come to a final view on the question of whether Israel's conduct constitutes genocide. It is necessary to establish only whether at least some of the acts alleged are capable of falling within the provisions of the Convention. The first genocidal act is the mass killing of Palestinians in Gaza. Nowhere is safe in Gaza. In the first 3 weeks alone, Israel deployed 6,000 bombs per week. At least 200 times, it has deployed 2,000-pound bombs in southern areas of Palestine designated as safe. Israel has killed an unparalleled and unprecedented number of civilians, with the full knowledge of how many civilian lives each bomb will take. The scale of Palestinian child killings in Gaza is such that UN chiefs have described it as a graveyard for children. The second genocidal act is Israel's infliction of serious bodily or mental harm to Palestinians in Gaza. Israel's attacks have left close to 60,000 Palestinians wounded and maimed. Large numbers of Palestinian civilians, including children, are arrested, blindfolded, forced to undress, and loaded onto trucks, taken to unknown locations. Turning to the third genocidal act, Israel has deliberately imposed conditions on Gaza that cannot sustain life. First, by displacement. There is nowhere safe for them to flee to. Those who cannot leave or refuse to be displaced have either been killed or at extreme risk of being killed in their homes. Entire hospitals were required to evacuate even newborn babies in intensive care. The order itself was genocidal. Houses and infrastructure, quote, have been razed to the ground, frustrating any realistic prospects for displaced Gazans to return home. The destruction is celebrated by the Israeli army, erecting the Israeli flag over the wreckage, seeking to re-establish Israeli settlements on the rubble of Palestinian homes. Israel's conduct has been deliberately calculated to cause widespread hunger, dehydration, and starvation. An unprecedented 93% of the population in Gaza is facing crisis levels of hunger. More Palestinians in Gaza may die from starvation and disease than airstrikes. Israel has deliberately inflicted conditions in which Palestinians in Gaza are denied adequate shelter, clothes, or sanitation. Cases of diarrhea in children under 5 years of age have increased 2,000%. The fourth genocidal act, the healthcare of infrastructure in the Gaza Strip, has been completely obliterated. Israel is blocking the delivery of life-saving aid, including essential medical kits for delivering babies. All of these acts form a calculated pattern of conduct by Israel, indicating a genocidal intent. The facts before the court today are sadly even more stark, and like the Gambia-Myanmar case, deserve and demand this court's intervention. Nothing will stop the suffering except an order from this court. Without an indication of provisional measures, the atrocities will continue, with the Israeli Defense Force indicating that it intends pursuing this course of action for at least a year. In the words of the UN Under-Secretary General, you think getting aid into Gaza is easy? Think again. 3 layers of inspections before trucks can even enter. Confusion and long queues. A growing list of rejected items. The fighting must stop. That concludes my section on the genocidal conduct of Israel. I thank you for your patient attention.
The violence and the destruction in Palestine and Israel did not begin on the 7th of October 2023. The Palestinians have experienced systematic oppression and violence for the last 76 years. On 6 October 2023 and every day since October the 7th, 2023. In the Gaza Strip, at least since 2004, Israel continues to exercise control over the airspace, territorial waters, land crossing, water, electricity, and civilian infrastructure, as well as over key government functions. No armed attack on a state territory, no matter how serious, even an attack involving atrocity crimes, can provide any justification for or defense to breaches to the convention, whether as a matter of law or morality. Israel's response to the 7th of October 2023 attack has crossed this line and give rise to the breaches of the convention.
Thank you.
Lord, live South Africa! Lord, live South Africa!
Can everyone keep it quiet, please?
I'm from Canberra and from Melbourne. I'm from Sydney. So we have a group of people here today. From mainly Melbourne, Sydney, and of course we have us from Canberra. As we are grateful for what South Africa has done for the people of Palestine. We're here to thank you personally. We have some beautiful young Palestinian girls. This is Jeddah. This is Gans, and the other. Good no name. And somebody. They're going to hand the paper. On behalf of the people of Palestine, on behalf of all the free, loving people, and I'm sorry, this is Maggie. She's from Aboriginal community here in Canberra, from Ngunnawal. She's being part of our. Sorry, I'll let everybody hear. So, on behalf of the people of Palestine, we are here today to thank you personally for the work of the South African government for taking on this case at the International Court of Justice. You have no idea what this means for the free people of the world. What you have done is historic, what you have done is outstanding, and what you have done is simply historic. So on behalf of the free people of the world, we're here today to, as I said, to thank you. We have some flowers that we, as a token of our appreciation, that to let the government of South Africa know our feelings and our expressions of joy and happiness, and thank you for everything that your government has done. Thank you.
We love you, South Africa.
Okay, bye everyone. Sorry.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon. Welcome to the South African Embassy. We are really humbled by your presence here, and thank you for your support. We share the same pain that the Palestinian people are going through, as we also have a history as South Africa. We went through the same process, and we would like to thank everyone who's here to show support for South Africa. I believe we had a successful presentation on Thursday, and we are waiting for the results and hope for the best. And thank you so much for the flowers, and thank you so much for your presence and mobilizing people, and for the support that we received in general. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Long live South Africa!
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 Free, free,